my loves, welcome back to Trend Talks. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Erald, and as always, remember to like, share, and of course, hit that subscribe button. So our faves are doing really great, and I am so happy. They've been dominating headlines since the baby mama video, and need I remind you that it's at 50 million plus views as we speak right now. She did that, and on top of that, her recent interview, which was one of the best interviews from her, just seeing how happy she is, how freedom looks on her, and just how joyful and at peace she is in that interview made me so happy. That interview is also, so many people have liked it, have loved it. I've seen nothing but positive reviews about it. And I love Emma. Shout out to Emma, because she did not play about Meghan. The Rangers went to that comment section trying to tear Meghan down and write awful things, and she put them off. She told them, hey, this is not a place. We don't care about your opinion. We don't care what you have to say. This is a happy space. So she shut them off, and she was deleting those awful comments. And I love that she defended and supported our girls. So they've been doing well. And on top of that, our Fox, right? Prince Harry in Victor's Games is doing well. There are countries who have submitted their biddings. 5 countries. I think there's South Korea, I've forgotten others, guys. Or Nigeria, and is it Italy is there? Sorry guys, I have forgotten, but just know there are 5 countries who've submitted, and I am so happy. That just shows you how massive and how big Invictus Games is growing. It's just becoming, I'm so proud of Harry, and I'm so proud of Meghan. And on top of that, as ever, products are launching and restocking this Friday on 20th of this month. So our girl is on a roll, and I love it for that. But you know what I love more? What I love more is when this so-called royal experts, commentators, even Brits, who as the ones who now have like an opening, and they start missing out on Harry and Meghan. They realize, oh, we messed up. Especially in recent light of Harry and Meghan really doing really well, because these people have always wished the worst to happen to Harry and Meghan. They wanted them to be broke, they wanted them to be miserable, in hopes that Harry will run back to the UK to beg his father for money, with the tail between his legs, begging. It's like, oh, daddy, forgive me, help me. Or maybe Harry leaves Meghan and the kids, and it's not happened. It's been years, and they're still happy, they're still madly in love with each other. And I love how Meghan has taken back control of his voice. He's, in charge of his life, and is dictating things on her own terms. That's so powerful. That is so powerful, girl. And now the British media is saying how her baby mama did well, and then you have her business has been booming, and she's been dominating headlines. And on top of that, the love that she's been getting, the amount of love that she's been getting has drowned out so much hatred. So they are now regretting, and it's like in that terms like, oh, Harry, I wish you were here, please come back. We've been saying you're irrelevant, but now we see, now that you're doing really well back in the US, happy, we now see how relevant you guys are. Mind you, these are the people who constantly write this, take out these polls, emotional support polls, and keep saying Harry and Meghan are irrelevant. Yet here they are saying, oh, they were really relevant. We're missing out on them. So Harry and Meghan's chief hater, right, Daniela Elsa, wrote a whole article saying the monarchy will never recover from losing Harry and Meghan. And I'm not even making this up, guys. And she went on to say, because Harry and Meghan made royalty seem relevant, interesting, and contemporary in a way that 1001 helicopters and tireless visits to Monarchy'S never could. You see, with Meghan and Harry brought that touch to the royal family. But you see, the way they treated them, they pushed them away. They pushed them away, and look how they continue to treat them today. They left. They don't care about the leftover roles. They've moved on, but they are still attacking Harry and Meghan. But now, given how they've seen how awful William and Kate are, to a point Kate literally cancels an event 20 minutes, last minute, like 20 minutes to that event, she's pulls out, it's like, I cannot attend because of work balance, cancer, card. And people are sick and tired of that, because these people don't work. William is hopping from one one pledge, one promise from one to another. Today it's tackling homelessness, tomorrow is bringing peace to Middle East, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, now we need to save and protect oceans, and people are not buying it. The worst part, he never follows through with any of these pledges and any of this place. So it gets to a point people I think they're starting to see now they waited, and I love that they're regretting, because now our face could care less about what they think. They don't even want to come back. They are doing great, and I love that for them. So I took snippets of that article. Of course, I'm not going to read the entire thing. No, I took snippets and I'm going to read it, and then we can break it down. So what proved truly devastating was when 2 months later, in January 2020, Prince Harry and Meghan, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, announced they were done with towing lines, smiling on cue, and making do with a 5-bidder horribly lacking in sonars and proximity to an air one. The Charles slimmed down model relied on both William and Harry rolling up their off-the-rack sleeves and marking in to do royal duties alongside their perpetually game and cheery wives. In the space of that one January 2020 Instagram post, the future of Crown went from relatively robust to worryingly malnourished. And then back in 2019, when that last mass group balcony photo was taken, with Meghan still having that new Duchess smell, there was genuine sizzle about the royal family. The addition of a biracial, divorced American go-getter who could wear the hell out of a pair of jeans was the shot in the arm the palace never knew they needed so badly. The sussexes made royalty seem relevant, interesting, and contemporary in a way that 1001 helicovers and tireless visits to Monarchy'S never would. Imagine how this year's palace balcony scene could have looked if the great Mexiting had somehow been prevented. Instead, what the photos of these years trooping the color spell out is that the loss of the Duke and Duchess is not something the palace can or will recover from soon. To a lesser degree, the permanent barring Beatrice and Eugenie from over being full-time working members of the royal family is also looking short-sighted. What the king thought he was doing was future-proofing the crown. Instead, the images from trooping make it look like he could have accidentally hobbled it. In 10 years, how many members of the royal family will be left to take the place on the palace balcony? So now, Meghan and Harry suddenly are relevant. These are the same people. This is one of Meghan and Harry's chief haters. Like, she writes the nastiest pieces about Harry and Meghan. Right now, she is admitting to the fact that the monarchy will never recover because they lost Harry and Meghan. Harry and Meghan made the monarchy relevant, interesting, right? So now they are missing out on Harry. I mean, look at Harry and Meghan doing amazing, hitting, they're dominating, and they're really, really successful. Everything they've always wished to happen to Harry and Meghan has not happened, but instead it's happening to their favorite leftover royals. So they are now embarrassed looking at, oh, you have Charles, you have Camilla, oh, you have Wakshai, you have Doolittle. We are doomed. We are doomed. We may not want to admit it, but I mean, we are doomed. Because clearly now, Harry and Meghan are relevant. If you guys had treated Meghan really well and Harry well, none of this would have happened. They would have never left. They left because of the media abuse, the attacks, the harassment. You guys get them. So this is another attempt of the British royal, royal experts trying to admit to the fact that they missed out on Harry, and in a way like, oh, please come back. We wish they were back. If they would come back, the monarchy will be relevant again, to be interesting. They're not coming back, guys. Move on. Move over. It is not happening. So I have some of the comments. Hold on. Here are some of the comments. So Kathy says, tide is turning, infuriatingly slowly, but it is turning. People are struggling just to keep their heads above water and resent any money at all being given to these wasters. Totally true. And then you have, he's still a felon, says, finally, the truth. Yeah, this is the truth. We've been knowing it, but when they admit it's something else. And then you have Youth Agenda says, interestingly, I don't think we'd be witnessing this rapid decline in both popularity and relevance had they left hashtag Harry and Meghan alone as from 2020 instead of centering them in absolutely every royal family. Even the royalists can't finish a royal family sentence without mentioning Harry and Meghan. That just shows you how relevant they are. And then yeah, Proud Mary says, who? I just wish the rats would move on. The only reason they are writing this is because their campaign of character assassination has not worked against Meghan. And she and Harry are thriving outside the cult. They just can't believe monarchy is not the holy grail they thought it was. Then you have Laverne says, the irony is royal family had many opportunities to change the narrative, but chose at each turn to be vindictive and collude with the media on reporting lies and misinformation. They can at any time tell the truth, but they won't. Charles at any time can pick up the phone to Harry, but he won't. Oh, I like that. I like that comment. I agree with you, Laverne. I love that one. Then Hunt says, when William becomes king, the toxic UK press will force him to make amends with Harry. Why? William has no star power, lacks charisma, and his fake causes fail to create any enthusiasm. Gets submission to appease the monarchy king and its sycophantic supporters is not enough to hold interest. Oh, you guys are on fire. And then That Is a Success says, Harry and Meghan are too big for the royals now. Finally, everyone is starting to see this. Completely agree. And then you have We Speak the Truth says, and the worst for them is their golden girl's heart is clearly not in it anymore. The whole family look like players in a forced pantomime at every outing. That woman is crumbling under the pressure and seems to be slow walking out of the door. I mean, I'm just saying. That's see the meme? And then Mary says, be careful what you wish for is very much applicable here. The UK media apparatus, that is hashtag Charles the Cruel and hashtag Willie the Pegger and hashtag Camilla the Homewrecker, are getting exactly what they deserve. Kama is never a fan of the ugly. Nothing else to be said or added. Then Arsem says, I love it. About time they recognize the obvious. Harry and Meghan modernized and brought something special to the family. Only took 5.5 years, and we know Meghan can do a lot more than just wear the hell out of a pair of jeans. But I will take the passive-aggressive compliment. And then S says, that's where the hate comes from. They hate them because they lost them. What an abysmal monarchy. And then Grab says, not an ounce of charisma on that balcony. It was a mess. The tripping chaos, I tell you. And then Lady says, good for Harry and Meghan. About time these people start to regret their behavior and their whole madness. And then Dottie says, so the penny is beginning to drop. Yeah, it is. Then Sheila says, William instigated the departure of his brother and sister-in-law. They were too popular and he became jealous, of course. And then, Mo says, sorry, are they banging on about the irrelevant ones? So now, magically, they are relevant. And then Gig says, they should have told Charlie Boy that instead of deceiving him into believing he and his snooze-inducing heir were liked. Snooze-inducing, that's a good one. And then Yvonne says, Charles is a jealous little man. He thinks that by removing anyone who could possibly be more popular than him, he'd suddenly get the attention he craves. He's boring without a charismatic bone in his body. Damn. And then Bettina says, and is that over any concern to Harry and Meghan? Not at all. They have moved on, are thriving, and will never expose their children to this horrible life in the circus. So yeah, that is a lot. That is... The comments are on fire. People are on you guys are on a roll. So yeah, guys, that is the update. As always, let me know what your thoughts in the comments. Give me your fieriest thoughts in the comments. Remember to like, share, and hit that subscribe button. Stay safe. I'm Herald, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.